Over the years, I've done probably a handful of videos examining the shifts and the changes in influencer culture. And I just find it very fascinating. And it kind of meets in that intersection between what I like to talk about, which is online fashion aesthetics, millennial culture, and the general shitification of social media. I know a lot of video creators on YouTube, especially in the overconsumption critique niche, they have a lot of disdain for influencers, but I am not the case. Like, I am not pro-influencer and I'm not anti-influencer. I just like to study them. I just like to study the influencer economy. So I approach it with a very clinical eye. I've made enough videos. I consider myself a professor of influencer studies. Got a BS and I wouldn't say PhD because like my whole channel is not about ragging on influencers. That's the PhD of influencer studies. I feel like I'm getting an associate's degree or like a BS, or is it a BS or a BA in influencerology? Lately, there's been a new development in the influencer economy. Right now, I think it's in the baby stages. It's getting its engines going, but I feel like we're in a prediction market. I predict that in a few years, it's a train wreck. It's like a train wreck that's not good for anybody. I mean, it's not good for influencers, but also it's not good for anybody in general. So without further ado, my name is Teresa, and this is Influencing in the Post-Follower Era. Sometime in the late 2010s, literally 2019, I began writing this romantic comedy book series, and the main character is an influencer who accidentally gets sent back through time through a hexed VPN. I was not an influencer myself, by the way, just to clear the air. I was not an Instagram influencer. I had no YouTube channel at the time. In fact, the last time I recommended a book to my brother, he went out of his way not to read it. So I guess I'm a de-influencer. I'm like influencer poison. I was just researching for a book, and then somehow I stumbled into the field of influencer studies. And I have a soft spot in my heart for that influencer character. Like, her main drive, the world is falling apart around her. There's more serious things to think about. And all she thought about, like her main goal, was to get back in her own time so that she can complete her brand deal and feed the algorithm with content. Because even back then, as you know, I feel like 2010s was another time, another world. Even back then, she knew that the algorithm was hungry and the algorithm needed to be fed. And that's just part of the comedic satire, was that she only had one thing on her mind, the most important thing, which is her persona, her online persona. And it didn't matter if she was in a different time, she had to get back so that she could influence. So let's just say that ever since 2019, I have been monitoring the situation. And the situation, guys, is not good. It's not good for influencers. And for those of you who hate influencers, you may rejoice, but look at that person. They're so annoying online. I hope they get it. I hate influencers. I can't wait till they get theirs. And I don't think that's the way to think about it. Like a certain sense of wishing for the downfall of others. I've been reading Marcus Aurelius, a stoic of antiquity. We are in a society of human beings here, okay? A misfortune that befalls one person actually befalls all of us. Don't let people divide you. Don't let people lead you into identity politics, because what is bad for one person, even the most annoying person in the world, is bad for all of us. Good fortune for one person floats all boats. Bad fortune for somebody sinks the whole ship. It's like a hole in the hull of your ship. That's the teachings of Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius from the age of Roman antiquity. So write that on a t-shirt. Influencers and brand deals go together hand in hand. In many instances, ad rates are laughably low. As a short form creator, you could get 1 million views on TikTok and you make a lot lower than what people think you're making. Everybody thinks that if you average like 1 million views per video on TikTok or Instagram, that you're making a lot of money. You're probably making less than minimum wage, if at that.
How on earth is this possible?
My RPM is always below 10 cents.
In Jelly Bean Sweet's latest video, she's talking about how much money she makes on TikTok, and I was honestly genuinely shocked. If you're like me, you assumed that she was making all these mukbang videos, sometimes several a day, for the money. Anna says that her RPM is sometimes as low as 10 cents. And how is that possible? The engagement rate on all her videos is really high and her view count is obviously really high. So I don't understand how her RPM could be so low. It kind of begs.
The ad rates are pretty low and they're pretty unpredictable. That's where sponsorships come in to supplement your income and maybe help you fulfill that dream of being a full-time content creator, a full-time influencer. In terms of brand deals, brands will seek out influencers with a large following. This is the playbook, the gold standard of what we think about when we think about influencers and brand deals. A macro influencer is somebody within the 100K to 1 million follower or subscriber mark. In terms of a brand idea, is like that person has cultivated a large follower base, a large audience, a sponsored segment or a sponsored post from that creator will put our product in front of the eyes of hopefully 1 million people. So that creator who has cultivated a giant following gets paid probably pretty good money to do like a sponsored segment or a sponsored post on Instagram. TikTok wasn't a factor at this point. This is the early to mid 2010s into the late 2010s. It was a renaissance of influencing. You know, it's very simple to understand. Big follower count, more eyes on the product, more sell through. But what the actual conversion rate per influencer and brand deal, we don't know. Nobody ever obviously publishes it. It's all kept under lock and key. Let me know if you've ever purchased any kind of sponsored product. What product did TikTok make you buy? What product did an Instagram influencer make you buy? What product did a YouTuber make you buy? I'm very curious because there's no record or no data involved with conversion rates. It's between the brand and the content creator, and sometimes in some instances, the content creator doesn't even know what the conversion rate is. Let me know. Confess. Did you get magic spoons with the 20% off code? Did you get AG1? Let me know if you tried that deodorant or the perfume subscription box or something. Just let me know. I want to know if you're satisfied with it. I want to know if it's hard to cancel the subscription. Did you feel like it was impossible to cancel any subscriptions? Now's your time to leave your review or air out your grievances. And honestly, there's very little that I consume that I could in good conscience recommend that you need to consume. I like a particular type of bag, but I don't know if I want everybody wearing the same bag as me. We're gatekeeping this bag here. So if I do take on a sponsorship, then you know that that brand is like Prince Charming. You know, I'm not just going to take anybody. You know that I fully endorse it. And if they give you trouble, then just let me know because I will Karen for the common good. But until that Prince Charming of a brand that aligns with my values that I actually love and use comes along, which I don't know if it will, there's nothing I could recommend you. I don't know who you are, but overall, I care about you and I care for you not to get rifted or conned or anything. Teresa, what did you recommend me? You ruined my life. Like, I would feel horrible if that happens. It's very bad for business, but I don't make good business decisions. Phase 2 of the influencer economy is what I like to call the democratization of creators. After 2020, there's been a giant shift in many things. You know, as the rise of short form video as propelled by TikTok, like TikTok soaring in popularity, creating like a explosion of micro to nano influencers within the 10,000 to 100,000 follower to subscriber count, and a nano influencer is like sub 10,000. You don't need to have like a giant following to get brand deals to be an influencer. And also with the rise of TikTok, I mean, everybody's noticed that every single social media platform wants to be like TikTok, YouTube included. Everybody wants to replicate TikTok's viral algorithm. And I feel like every year, or almost even every 6 months, there's been changes in the algorithm. Every social media algorithm, every sales platform algorithm. If I see this algorithm change, that the importance that brands place on followers is outdated, because sometimes the algorithm will just show you people that you're not even subscribed to. In fact, in some cases, it almost feels like the algorithm is aggressively not showing me people I'm subscribed to. After a certain point, every algorithm is trying to mimic that TikTok algorithm in which you can blow up with almost no subscribers at all, or you could have a lot of subscribers because of like 1 or 2 videos, And after that, it's crickets. So as a result of this, I see this as like brands not so much using their advertising budget to give to one big creator. Why pay a lot of money to one big creator in which you can't really be sure of their reach for your product when you can spread it out amongst 10,000 smaller creators with smaller audiences? When they're smaller, their audiences trust them more. It's a matter of scale. And they're more likely, and I'm assuming most of them are younger, they're more likely to take a lower rate for that sponsorship. They're excited. I am finally an influencer. I am finally a content creator. I'm making money off my content. Brands want to work with me. That's so exciting. So like if they lowball them a number, they're more likely to take it. And even worse, they're probably more likely to take a free product versus actually getting paid. And it's like, it's nice that you're getting free products and all. The thing is, a free product is not going to pay your rent. A free product is not going to pay your bills. Money pays rent. Money pays bills. But a lot of them are green and a lot of them are excited just to get a free sample of a makeup, just to get like a free vacuum. I've been hit up for like the most random things that has nothing to do with this channel. Like, do you want to do a sponsor segment on this power saw? I'm like, what does a power saw have to do with my channel? Like, hey guys, this video is sponsored by this like jigsaw. You could cut wood. So it's like the smaller you are and the more up and coming you are, the more likely you are of taking a sponsored brand deal that pays you a lot less than somebody who has a larger following, has been doing it for a veteran, basically. They probably don't have the negotiation skills, or they probably don't want to offend and negotiate for a higher rate, or, you know, lose out on that opportunity. And they feel like they have to say yes to like every single opportunity because there's a lot of them. If a brand comes in, I'll pay you $50, or worse, I'll just give you a free drink. Unfortunately, I see a lot of them just taking the free product, which I think is actually very bad for the creator economy in general. Now brands are like, we have an army of wannabe creators. Some of them are like moms needing a second income or pin money. Some of them are like college students, college girls who just want people to like them and don't want to offend. You know, that's all need to read this book called The Courage to Be Disliked. That's the thing with young women and younger girls. And, you know, I've been there myself. You just want everything to be nice. You don't want to anger anybody. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. You just want to please people, and you end up with some free makeup. Seems cool, seems like a bragging right, but free makeup does not pay the bills. Money pays for everything. And I'm assuming that some people are not doing sponsored content for money, which is bad for everybody. It's bad for the creator economy because those who used to command a higher rate are seeing their opportunities siphoned off and divided amongst an army of up and coming micro to nano influencers. It's pretty much the same as like, you know, the working world. You used to work at a company and you have a specialized set of skills that your company used to be able to pay you what you deserve to be paid. They used to pay you a pension, okay? And now it's like, okay, why should we pay this one person with a specialized set of skills so much money when you can just get rid of that person and have like, let's say 500 people who are willing to do it for less. They don't have a specialized set of skills, but we don't care about that. And the audience doesn't care about that either. We'll try to shift this Overton window for you to expect less quality. And some of them, those suckers, some of them are willing to do it for free. I don't know if you've seen the influencer PR package openings. Influencers have like a ton of mail, towers and towers of boxes, free gifts and free PR from companies. People will look at this and they'll think it's great to be an influencer. These influencers get everything for free. I'm struggling. I could sure use a free makeup palette, or I could sure use a free iPad. And I'm thinking, but what about the money? Where's the money? Show me the money. Unless you can sell it and you can pay your bills with it, or you can pay off whatever credit card debt you have, which I always assume people have. Free item is just junk. And that's the minimalist in me talking. Nothing is ever free. There is no free lunch.
PR, I want to get free stuff. No, you do not. This is a 1099 that I got in the mail yesterday. You know what this says? $63,000. Spoiler, I did not make $63,000 from this collaboration. As an influencer, gifts and PR can be reported as compensation by the company to the IRS.
If you get a free iPad as a PR package, let's just say that if I ever get any kind of electronic device that is preloaded with goodies from a brand, You don't know what kind of tracking devices they're putting in this iPad. Nothing is ever free. You can see how like brand sponsorships went from a handful of creators who's built years of a relationship with their viewers and or their followers if it's on Instagram. You know, their Instagram followers used to read their captions. Does anybody even read captions anymore? I remember those influencers used to write like entire essays and their followers would actually read everything that they write. To now kind of lowering the bar. You don't need to have like a great skill in videography or photography or whatever to kind of make it. There's a lot of up and coming micro to nano influencers with tinier followings, but who are hungry for these brand deals, for a sense of like social proof or legitimacy. Thereby, they would take a lower rate or even worse, a product for free without even being paid by actual money. And this does not benefit creators in general. It only benefits the brand. And it doesn't benefit their viewers, their followers, because now everybody's just being advertised to 24/7. The landscape of social media has turned into this giant Times Square billboard. Everything is for sale. Everything is transactional, and that's not good for anybody. It's kind of a race to the bottom. And then once you sufficiently passed phase 2 and you have this legion of micro to nano influencers that are willing to shill out for cheap or for free for a free product, add to the fact that social media algorithms, they like trends and they like creators that follow trends. If enough people follow the trend, then you get this copy paste effect where you can't really distinguish one from another. This New York influencer and this New York influencer, they all have a slicked back bun, like a white tank top, a white t-shirt. They all have like the same look, okay? So you can't distinguish one from the other. So I'm going to assume that there's no malicious intent in the end goal of this, that it just happened by accident. It's a bad accident, not a happy accident, it's a sad accident, with followers not meaning as much as they used to anymore, and influencers or content creators turning into copy pastes of each other, losing their individuality, true creativity being penalized by obscurity. Basically, if you chop down a tree in the woods and nobody hears it, did it ever happen? You know, you can write a masterpiece of a book, you can write a masterpiece of a song, you can make a masterpiece of a YouTube video. I've seen some YouTube videos that are like literal movies. If the algorithm buries you into obscurity and nobody sees it, then let's just hope that you're doing it for yourself to fulfill your own soul. But it is pretty sad that like you can make a masterpiece and nobody will watch it versus somebody who's like, come with me as I go shopping at Erewhon. What the hell? And I would venture to say that as we evolve or devolve in social media, creativity is actually not welcomed by the algorithm. It's fed on volume and velocity and trends. The hard knocks I've come to learn is that the algorithm doesn't reward originality. It kind of rewards going along with the flock. I'm trying to do a new take on video essays for years, like part video essay and part sleepover chat, where you also have, you know, like a little bit of the personality, and people would be like, you have too much personality in this video essay. Just get to the point already. I don't like these monologues. Why are you watching a long form video? Go watch a TikTok. TikTok's more your speed. We're here to have a conversation. If it's too much for you and your attention span can't handle it, if you're some kind of iPad kid, get the hell out of the classroom. Get to the point, Teresa. In many cases, you have to package it to look like the niche in your genre. I've noticed this one thumbnail that's trending. By the time this video releases, it probably won't be trending, but it's just like it's like rainbow colors and 7 types of blanks. Anybody who's ever posted any kind of short form content, I have, just like book related stuff. What do you think of it as a craft and you spend like 1 month making one video? You're not going to get anywhere. After one day or a few hours, actually, that's when the views or the reach starts to plateau. You kind of have to be in a hamster wheel. There's no way to succeed on TikTok or like Instagram if you only post like one video a month or one video every 2 weeks. There's no way. It's a quantity over quality game. Once I was kind of listening into a work meeting, and somebody said quantity has a quality all of its own, and they attributed that quote to Winston Churchill. And then somebody looked it up and it's like, no, actually I think Stalin said that. So this all results in the algorithm flattening culture. On the one hand, algorithmic changes have taken away the power of the follower, the subscriber, by sometimes not even showing them the uploads of people they actually subscribe to. And then on the other side, rewarding creators to do a copy paste, follow the trend kind of thing, nix and eliminate their individuality. She's an it girl, she's an it girl, they all wear the same thing. It all results in weakening the bonds of a personal relationship between viewer and creator, between follower and creator. It eliminates that parasocial relationship. And without that parasocial relationship, then creators are fungible. Like creators are a dime a dozen. And I honestly feel that for short form content, like if you're just short form creator, it's really hard to build your relationship with a short form video because you're strapped for time and you're trying to capture somebody's attention span. All the personality is edited out. I feel like it breaks apart the last vestige of like a social connection that we can have with each other. We no longer have conversations with each other like we are here. There's no time for that. You got to cut that out. You have to come with me as I shop at your one. Here's this food, here's this food, here's this food, versus like the little mistakes in between or the little human hiccups. That's what builds the connection, but all that is sliced out. So that parasocial relationship is gone. And with that relationship eliminated, influencers are fungible. What makes you follow one influencer over another influencer that has the cool girl NYC vibe, that when they both dress the same and they both make the same kind of videos because of the trend, and they both also sound the same and look the same. They could be completely different people. They have different likes and dislikes and different quirks, but you'll never know that because it's all cut out to fit like a certain aesthetic. Like the personality is cut out. So then that makes it easier for in the future for just like a brand or a corporation to just generate some AI influencer, which they're already doing, that looks the same as like the third carbon copy of influencer A and influencer B. This is all leading to something I think is very nefarious. We've already taken that massive influencer and you cut them into, like, you divide it, you multiplied them into 1,000 micro to nano influencers, and they're willing to accept less. They're even willing to accept free products and not money in exchange to do the advertisement. Then it goes down to somebody's aunt online trying to make it. They get their affiliate link and then they're trying this vacuum. They've got like 300 followers on Instagram and they're trying to sell it to like 20 people. It's almost, as I'm saying this, it's kind of like an MLM with this AI era being what it is right now. I wouldn't be surprised if brands just start doing this in-house. If you can't tell the difference between one NYC cool girl influencer with a slicked back bun, and they're all making the same kind of content, why don't you just get rid of influencer A and influencer B, just throw them all into like an AI video generation software, and then you have influencer C, which is the baby of influencer A and B, and she looks exactly like them. She starts promoting this cheap vacuum. You can save yourself 50 to 100 bucks, the cost of postage to ship her a free PR package, and just do it in-house. It's very dystopian and it's also very nefarious. Basically, we're cutting out the human here. You know, on YouTube, there's this niche that I've seen around. It's like the old person story time. Like, I am 90 years old and this is what I regret the most, that kind of thing. And somebody already has AI, the AI old person. Usually, you know, you can tell what's an AI influencer. They've got the jawline, they've got the upturned nose, they've got the hair, you know, like the influencer face. And now there's elderly influencers. And that kind of sucks. Imagine if you were an elderly person and you're like, I would love to become a content creator and tell you about my wisdom, my truth that I've learned after 90 years. Now somebody has taken the livelihood out of this 90-year-old person's hands. So I read this article in Vogue. It's the latest development in this cutting out the human element of everything. And it also pretty much relates to the whole like AI is taking over human jobs. If you pause a video and somebody's got a good outfit going on and you pause the video and it'll auto-populate, find similar clothing items in the video. And usually influencers are well equipped with an arsenal of affiliate links. Like, if you like my outfit, if you like my shirt, then this is from the Muji 2025 spring collection. If I have an affiliate link, then it'll just pop up. You buy buy from the link and I get like 10 cents from it or something. So the arsenal of affiliate links is another source of income for content creators and influencers. However, now with AI, these platforms have been scanning creators' content and auto-populating with shop the look, find similar, and just been linking dupes, cutting out the influencer's affiliate link. From what I've read, this has just been rolled out to big creators on Instagram, those with a big following, because, you know, the bigger the creator, the more likely the platform is to make money. So this poses multiple problems. Number one being that the creator is cut out of their affiliate income. For those of you who just hate influencers and you're like, good, influencers shouldn't be earning out of affiliate incomes, you're probably making a boatload of money off of us. Maybe some are making a lot of money, we don't know for sure, but I feel like for every person, every 0.1% of influencers or content creators are making a lot of money out of affiliate income, the majority of people are probably lucky to make $10 a month. So I go by the mentality that just because a handful of very successful influencers are killing it, why penalize the mom that's trying to make pin money or to pay off her electricity bill? We all have higher electricity bills because of AI, right? So I don't penalize somebody who's just trying to make ends meet or barely make ends meet because somebody in the spotlight is grifting or is unlikable or something, you know? Like, that's the thing with how society works. And I've noticed this in the workplace, is that like one person messes it up for everybody. One person breaks the rules or bends the rules, and instead of punishing that one person, everybody is punished. Like, the rules are much stricter because of that one person. The other problem is the platform's AI is auto-populating dupes of the clothes they're wearing without their consent. They never opt into it. Of course, you know, like, I guess being on the platform is the consent. If there's an opt-out button that's like hidden somewhere, the dupes of their outfits or the dupes of whatever makeup they're using, it's not recommended by them. So if their followers decide to buy a crappy dupe of this blouse they're wearing, like, I'm recommending you Calvin Klein here, they're sending you to Temu. It looks nothing like what the influencer is wearing. It's made of the crappiest material, and they'll get mad at the influencer slash content creator. Why did you recommend this piece of garbage shirt? Of course you're not going to be happy with it, and don't blame me because I didn't do it. I didn't recommend it. So this is the biggest concern of all. Right now, according to the Vogue article, it's being rolled out for top influencers on Instagram, but let's suppose it's rolled out for everybody. What if it's rolled out for you? What if, like, right now something auto-populates and it tells you that you could get this shirt at Temu? Teresa, why'd you recommend me? I thought you had good fits and I thought you had discerning taste and quality. You talk a big game about like not buying unnatural materials or whatever. You talk a big game about like the quality of the clothes and looking at the stitching and the breathability, and now I have this polyester shirt that you recommended me that popped up on your video, and I'm like, no, I didn't do it. So it could happen to anybody. If you're just somebody with 3 followers on TikTok or 3 followers on Instagram, you post a video about like your OOTD, your outfit of the day, or your fit check. All of a sudden AI scans you and it auto-populates like your outfit. You're not an influencer, you're not a content creator, you don't even have a chance to earn 10 cents for the sale of this crappy t-shirt. You know who gets that 10 cents? Instagram does, or TikTok does. I've seen this happen on Pinterest actually. It did it to me. Occasionally I'll load, if the algorithm is not promoting my videos, I'll like have to promote it myself, and I'll upload like a thumbnail of a video that I think will do well on Pinterest. Usually it has to do with fashion aesthetics. It'll just AI read whatever's on the thumbnail, including my face and including my glasses, and it'll auto-populate like, if you like the glasses she's wearing, right, then here's a similar pair of glasses. And it's like, it's not my glasses at all. It's like a very cheap plastic pair of glasses. You know how I'm very fussy about my glasses, and there is a difference between the different types of screws, and there's a difference between the different types of acetate material. So anyways, I'm very fussy about my glasses, and let's just say this is Pinterest and nobody really cares. Let's say I was bigger and then somebody is like, oh, I want the exact same glasses as you, Teresa. And then all of a sudden you buy those glasses, you're like, the glasses you wear suck, Teresa. Why did you recommend me these crappy glasses that they break on my face? Because I didn't recommend you those crappy glasses, okay? AI recommended you those crappy glasses, and I didn't even get a commission off those crappy glasses. So that's the issue here. So you think it affects the big influencers that you don't like anyways? Oh, woe is them, play that tiny violin, they're getting cut out of their affiliate income. Good. Well, you can be an influencer and not even consent to it. You can be an influencer and not even know it. And worst of all, you don't even have the opportunity to make 10 cents on a sale of a crappy item. You don't even have the opportunity to get an affiliate commission and make peanuts. There are no peanuts. Not only did you make peanuts before, but the corporations are sucking up the peanuts. Remember when I said that we live in a society and what misfortune befalls one person, I don't rejoice in the downfall of another person because it could happen to me and it could happen to you. You sitting there right now and you're like knitting, you're cross stitching, feeling all high and mighty about yourself. I am not an influencer. I am above that. Well, one day you could post your cross stitching on your personal Instagram or your personal Facebook or whatever, and AI scans it and it auto populates affiliate links to Thread, to other people's cross-stitching crafts on Etsy, and then your best friend is like, I didn't know you became an influencer. Well, you didn't become an influencer because you're not making any affiliate income, but they've turned you into an influencer against your will. You know, a misfortune that befalls one person in a society befalls everyone else. We have to acknowledge that you can't hate the players. You have to hate the game. So that is all I have for you right now. I don't know how I started off talking about this and then all of a sudden I've like stirred up passions I didn't even know I had about this topic. You heard method acting? This is method video essaying. If you've enjoyed this video, then leave this kiss emoji in the comments down below. We should all just start kissing each other, not literally, but you know, like we should all just give each other more love. You know, don't literally kiss people. Cooties. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you've enjoyed me, then consider subscribing to this channel. But even though subscribers are not as important in the eyes of the algorithm, it still means the world to me that you've chosen to bookmark me just so the algorithm could bury me in your feed and never show any of my uploads to you. You know, I just love that for me. I don't know, maybe some of you can do a little digging and go like, hey, I missed this video and I missed this video and I just miss you because I miss you too.